Hey guys, and welcome to the Triple D Show with your host, me, Triple D. This is episode 2 of Series 8. Alright, so I've got a lot of stuff to actually show you guys, so let's kick off right to it. Alright, so first off is a band which, honestly, God, I love them, and I just need a lot of albums to complete their discography, but these are the albums. I love every single album that they put out. So I got AC/DC, and I got their album Back in Black. Don't know if you can see it right there because of the lighting. So, yep, AC/DC's Back in Black. Really enjoyable album. Next one I got is Ball Breaker. Yep, very enjoyable album. By the way, I've listened to all of these albums, by the way, and they are fantastic. Next, I got Black Ice. I don't know if you can see that, but it's written on there, Black Ice. Yep. Usually when I go to record stores, I sometimes find this like in red. Like, it's not normally this colour, so it's in red. So yeah, I've got that. Next one, I got Fly on the Wall. Yep, Fly on the Wall. This is by the way, these are all remastered. These are not the originals, like, of what they have actually put out. But I enjoy them. I love them. Alright, next I got 2 albums from one of the big 4. And by the way, if you don't know what the big 4 is, it's Anthrax, Megadeth, Slayer, and Metallica. And yes, I got Megadeth, and I got Peace Sells with Who's Buying. Yep, is it? Actually, yeah, Peace Sells with Who's Buying. Yep. So I love Megadeth. I really like their songs and all that, but I've been told not to get their album. What's it called? Super Collider. Apparently that album was absolute rubbish. Alright, and next I got So Far, So Good, So What. Yep, Megadeth. It's fucking Megadeth, come on guys. Alright, next, if you've seen my mate Super Mountain 1993's gig review of Pirate Fest, the link is in the description down below to that video, and also his channel, so you can go and subscribe to him and also check out that video. Fantastic video that he does of like gig reviews and CD reviews. I went, obviously nothing mentioned me because I actually went to the same festival as him. We had a fucking really good time. Honestly enough, guys, I've never enjoyed myself so much at a festival. Alright, so yeah, but while I was there, the first band actually came on, Rumahoy, and honest to God, they played a really good set, and yeah, I got one of their I got their debut album, The Triumph of Piracy. Yep. Yeah, so if you like into folk metal music, well, apparently this is what I've been told, it's like folk metal, but there was some symphonics in there, so obviously if it's symphonic folk metal, but it's pirate themed, and also they dressed up like on stage, they dressed up like Somali pirates. They were hilarious and they were funny as well. Alright, now we move on to the movies. Yeah, so my mum got this because I haven't seen this movie, but I sat down and watched it, and by God, it's fantastic. Kong Skull Island. Yep. Better than Peter Jackson's King Kong, if I've got to be honest with you. But the thing that Peter Jackson should have worked on from like his movie is like the boat just getting to the island. That's it. But as with this movie, it's a whole lot more better. It took everything like that was not not in with the Peter Jackson film and put it into this. Made it a hell of a lot more better. So yeah, that's a vast improvement on that film. Alright, next I got The Maze Runner and The Maze Runner Scorched Trails. Yeah, my mate, honestly enough, didn't actually know that there was actually two films before this. So I said to him, yeah, I've got to see the new one, which is Death Cure. But I told him that I've seen the previous two before, and he said, previous two? And he looked confused, and I was saying, yeah, The Maze Runner and The Maze Runner Scorched Trails. So this is them. Two fantastic films, actually, because I was actually told that they were fantastic movies. I'm not denying that they're bad movies. I'm not saying that they are bad movies. I'm just saying that I haven't even gotten around to actually watch them yet. Alright, next I got Alien vs Predator and the sequel Alien vs Predator 2 Requiem, or as I just like to call them, just AVP. First one, fantastic. A lot of people don't actually like this one, but honest to God, I've rewatched this so many times and I love it. I love that one. This one, I gotta say, they had the right idea for this one, like putting it in like Emma City, but they just didn't pull it off the way that it should have been pulled off. It didn't pull it off in the right way, so yeah, not that very good. Alright, next is, because I've been like keeping up to date with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I got Ant-Man. Yep, Ant-Man. My mate, honestly enough, said that he watched it, but he didn't like it like that much. For me though, I sat down and watched it. I loved it. I loved every single bit of the movie. I didn't see anything wrong with it. I mean, like there was actually a lot of good stuff in there, to be honest with you. Alright, next is another superhero movie, and it's Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. Yep, this is the Ultimate Edition, but it's got the 64 page book that is in here from the movie, and including the Blu-ray and including a special feature. A lot of people have been saying that this movie is actually bad, but it's not as bad as what people actually say it actually is. I know a lot of people in the comment section down below are actually going to say, how do you actually say it's not really that bad? Guys, you've got to understand how to make a superhero movie. It takes time, but this one was actually bad. Like as I said, was bad, but not as bad as what people actually say it actually is. So, yeah. That's a case of one of those superhero movies for that. Alright, next is kind of like a funny comedy. It's a comedy film, but it's racist at the same time. And you're probably wondering, how is it actually racist? You will need to watch it to find out. I'm talking about Mel Brooks's Blazing Saddles. Yep. How is it racist, you ask? Well, I'm just going to say, think of back to the before the Civil War thing happened in America, and then yeah that's, but it's also a comedy as well. I don't get it, how comes Disney's Song of the South is actually classed as racist but doesn't get put on Blu-ray or DVD, but yet Mel Brooks' film still actually passes that and actually manages to get on Blu-ray and DVD. I don't get that, but it's just the way films go these days. But that is actually really funny, Blazing Saddles is. Alright, next is Cats and Dogs. Cats and Dogs, it's just Cats and Dogs. This is actually a really, really fantastic film. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Jeff Goldblum actually does a really good job as a scientist in this one, compared to like another role which he actually did in a sequel to a film which doesn't even need mentioning, because that film was absolutely terrible. Next I got a movie which is actually based off a video game, but there's only one problem with it. The main character that's in the first game, Kanye West, and number 4, is not the main character of this film. It's a different guy. I'm of course talking about Dead Rising, and this is Dead Rising Watchtower. Yep, why isn't Frank West the main character? Yes, he's getting interviewed, and of like after the events of the first Dead Rising film, but this is actually set in between that film, those games. So it's set like after Dead Rising 1, but just before Case Zero, just before we see Chuck Green. That's really confusing, but Frank West is actually getting interviewed, and he should be the one that's actually involved with those zombies. Because to be honest with you, he's a badass character, Frank West actually is. Alright, next I got Doctor Strange. Oh my god, guys, why didn't I go and see Ant-Man or Doctor Strange at the cinema? But now that I'm really up to date with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, after seeing the recent one, Black Panther, I'm really up to date with all the stories and everything. So I can't wait for the Avengers Infinity War to come out. But Doctor Strange, however, fantastic film. Really fantastic film. Absolutely loved it. Alright, next is a sequel to a Disney classic, but this film was actually made in memory of Roy E. Disney. If you don't know who that is, it was Walt Disney's brother who helped him get out of like the worker sort of like workman's thing, like ages ago. I think like back in the 40s or something like that. Roy E. Disney was the one that got Walt Disney out of that situation, and financial situation them as well. So this movie was a memory of him, and it's Fantasia 2000. Yep, if you haven't watched this, guys, I would recommend that you watch this. And also, you've got to like watch the first one as well, because the first one is fantastic. Alright, next is kind of like a film which like actually well, I'm just gonna say Phil Brook. In case if you don't know who that was, it's CM Punk. He actually did mention this like on a segment of like WWE. I think it was on Raw, when he's saying that Dwayne Johnson or some, when he said Dwayne Johnson, he said that's The Rock, for instance, for somebody who doesn't watch bad Disney movies. And the one Disney movie that he actually mentioned was The Game Plan. Yep, I have it right here, The Game Plan. To be honest with you, Phil Brook, I gotta say, it's not a bad Disney movie. And it, honest to God, the reason why I say it isn't a bad Disney movie, the story to it is great. The story to it is fantastic. Yep. And that is a fantastic movie, that is. They're all fantastic movies here. Alright, guys. Alright, next I got the recent Ghostbusters movie. I haven't like watched it yet, because I'm having like a little bit of trouble with my Xbox One, so I'm having a little trouble with that. But yeah, when I do get the time, I will watch it. I will watch Ghostbusters, the recent one. Alright, next I got the only movie to start the Big Show in, Knucklehead. Yep, this is the only one that you'll ever see the Big Show in starring as the main character. So yeah, I got it because it's a WWE film, and I've already seen it, so it's an average movie. Alright, next is the last film that I needed to complete the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise before another one actually gets released. So the one that I needed to complete the franchise was at World's End, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. To be honest with you guys, this, honestly enough, is a fantastic movie. Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl, fantastic. Dead Man's Chest, brilliant. At World's End, brilliant, fantastic. On Stranger Tides, no. On Stranger Tides wasn't actually it wasn't like as much as up there with like the other three. Salazar's Revenge, yeah, that was actually good. I'll give Disney credit for making that one as well, but on Stranger Tides, no. World's End, though, fantastic. I know a lot of people don't like this movie, but guess what? I actually do like this movie. I love it. Alright, next I got another film with Stone Cold Steve Austin in, and that is Tactical Force. Yeah, it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. Just look at the other films that he's been in, like Damage, Hunt to Kill, The Condemned. It's Steve Austin. He does an average job at those movies. He doesn't do a fantastic job, he just does them an average job. Alright, next is the film that came out before Black Panther. Thor Ragnarok. Yep, Thor Ragnarok. I finally got this movie on Blu-ray and I saw it all the way through, and by God, oh my God, I so can't wait for Avengers Infinity War. Like as I said, can't wait for it. Comes out on the 27th of April. I can't wait to see it. Alright, next is, well, TV show that is in the UK, but is now hosted by different actors. But it used to be hosted by these three guys. I'm of course talking about Top Gear, and I've got Top Gear, Perfect Road Trip, and At the Movies. So in case if you don't know who these three guys are, well, there's three there, yeah. Well, there's four there, but there's three presenters. There was Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond. Them were the three that made Top Gear fantastic. They made it very, very decent to watch. Now they're doing the Grand Tour. Anyway. Next I got WWE Blu-ray. I got Randy Orton, The Evolution of a Predator. Yeah, I really like Randy. I like Randy Orton now. I didn't used to like him beforehand, but now I actually do like Randy Orton. He's actually improving him a hell of a lot more better now. Alright, next is a game. Now, obviously enough, I don't really get that much games, to be honest with you. But this one I wanted because I've heard a lot of fantastic things about it, great reviews about it, and it's really scary as well. Because of the dreadful other one that we had before this. The dreadful one that was Resident Evil 6. Yep, I now have Resident Evil 7. Yep, but check that out, guys. It's called Resident Evil Biohazard. In case if you don't know, here's a little bit of history lesson for you. Biohazard is actually its original name. So, but if you go to Japan and if you get the first Resident Evil game, it will not say Resident Evil, it will say Biohazard, because that's its original name. And the reason why they had to change it for is because Biohazard, well, you know what it is if you work in like something like a nuclear power plant or something like that. If you work in some sort of like that's got like toxic stuff or something that's biohazard, that could be a hazard, but it's bio. So yeah. Alright, next up, when I also went to the Pirate Fest gig, I also got myself a shirt of Eelstorm, because they were actually the headliner band, and by God, they put on a fucking fantastic show there. They really did. They stole it. You know, when you've got like good bands actually keeping the ball rolling. You had Romahoy, and then you had the Dreadwood or whatever they call it. I can't even remember the band, but they were actually really good. But they were using acoustics as well, and I was like, fucking hell, this is fantastic. Wait a minute, so Romahoy kept the ball, started it off really well, then the next band kept the ball rolling. Eelstorm fucking finished it. They finished it on a high. And guess what? I got a shirt of them. And the shirt that I got is this one. Yep, in case if you didn't know, it actually looks like the front cover of Super Mario Brothers. If you owned the NES. If you owned the NES, you would know what that picture is actually copying of. But it says Eelstorm Entertainment System, and on the back it's got the Nintendo style logo, but their name is Eelstorm, so it's like Nintendo style. And where is the there? February 11th is when I went to Newcastle. I really had a fucking good time there. Alright, and last is the plushies. Last is the plushies, and that's going to be the end of it. Alright, so first off, I got Phantom Foxy. Yep, from Five Nights at Freddy's. I think this is from Five Nights at Freddy's 4. I mean, like, this should have stopped after number 2. I mean, Scott Kaufman should have stopped at number 2, but I guess that's what you have to carry on with. If you got a popular franchise, if you got a popular game, you make a sequel and you continue going. Alright, and last at the plushies is Eevee. Yay, this is Eevee. Yay, Eevee. In case if you didn't know, it's actually it says here it's official because it's actually from the Pokemon Center, which it actually says, so that's actually official. And oh my god, Eevee's actually adorable. Alright, so that's it. It's been Triple D Short episode 2 of Series 8. Hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and peace!